All right, folks, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, podcast. All those things are down below in the description box. Coming at you today. I apologize for it being darker in this corner. Some light bulbs are out. Tried swapping it to some other stuff and everything fell apart there for a second. But coming at you with a video on the subconscious mind. And I was listening, I don't even know how it came up in my YouTube preferences or suggestions, this guy called Dr. Joe Dispenza or something like that. And what he brought up, I think, is very enlightening and made sense to me, right? And, we always talk about tapping into the subconscious, or they talk about how we are, subconsciously programmed through TV ads, visuals that flash across screens, things that we can't even process, but somehow the unconscious, subconscious mind can be affected by these things. And what he brought up, and I thought was very interesting, was the body is the subconscious mind, right? And I thought that was very interesting. I was trying to figure out what he was talking about. And in everyday life, we talk about how it's difficult to be comfortable in our own skin. I've discussed before about how if you have certain aches and pains in your body, those areas of your body are holding tension. People shrug a lot when, I know if you have a lot of neck pain, I have a lot of shoulder neck pain. I catch myself shrugging without even knowing it. And it comes to proprioception in that sense of being aware of what your body is doing in time and space, right? Because once again, I'll be sitting there driving and I'll catch myself kind of like this, and I'm like, all right, I got to relax. I'm freaking all tensed up. So when he brought up the body as the subconscious mind, and in reality, isn't this what some people, I made a video on what they call an athlete being in the zone or being in flow, where there is really no time. You're not really in the past or future. You're just in the present moment. You're not thinking about anything. Everything is one. And in that aspect, that would kind of be, it makes sense that the body is the subconscious mind. And the way he brought it up, and where we've brought it up before of discipline, how of certain disciplines, like the discipline of breathing, we take that for granted, right? But our body breathes no matter what. Our heart beats no matter what. Our blood flows. Our digestive tract works. These things work without us knowing. So in reality, wouldn't those processes of the body be kind of anything that's kind of running in the background we don't know, and a computer could be the subconscious? Couldn't that be our subconscious? We're not telling our body to digest. We're not telling ourselves to breathe. It just happens without us even knowing it, right? So the body being the subconscious is that same concept of, if we do not breathe properly, our body can get stuck in this state of flight or fight, right? And that's what they say. Unfortunately, our body doesn't know the difference. Our body doesn't know that we're just sitting back watching a YouTube video, hanging out. But if we're not doing big belly breaths and we're up here in the chest just breathing, that is signaling the body fight or flight. It doesn't understand that we're not in any real danger, but based on just the breathing pattern alone, the body starts to sense that something is wrong. And now we are in that fight or flight mode, right? So what he said, and I thought it was an interesting topic going along those lines, is if our breathing is out of whack, right, what happens? Flight or flight. Now hormones are secreting into the body, adrenaline rushes, cortisol, all these different hormones are, the juices start flowing. The body doesn't know that in reality we're just sitting and watching TV, right? It could be a scary movie. The body doesn't know. The body just understands that it is stressed in one way, some way, shape, or form, and it is starting to act that way. So in that sense, he started talking about how that is the body being the subconscious mind. Because in reality, if we're always stressed out and hurting, and the body is affected by that, even when we try to have that positive thought of, I can do it, the body, the subconscious mind, is still in that state of stress because we haven't learned how to breathe properly. We haven't learned to clear our thoughts. And all the outside distractions in the world are affecting the body. So sometimes when we are unable to overcome addiction, fear, whatever it might be in life, is we've got to not only have the mental strength, but we also have to find a way to relax and bring the body back into, a state of calmness, right? So subconsciously, the body is still reacting to a state of fear. You are trying to consciously, with your thoughts, positive thoughts, things like that, you're trying to calm yourself, but your body is fighting it. And I thought that was a very interesting thought and something to think about. That's what we've got to understand when I tell people when it comes to exercise and fitness. And I was telling my client this the other day. When I first started training this gentleman, he had torn his meniscus on his left leg, we'll say, right? Been training with him for a year now. Hasn't lost any weight. I train him twice a week. He's not eating right. He's not coming out and doing anything on his own. And now he injured his other knee, literally just walking, right? And every time I try to talk to this guy, he has a, he's passed the bar. He's a lawyer. He's a politician. And, just one of these guys, I think, unfortunately, that just thinks he's right all the time. And I'm that way too, man. I guess that's a man thing. You ask any woman, that's a man thing. So we're butting heads. But even when it comes to personal training, I'll say we should do this. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I need to do this. I want this. I want this. I want this. And it's like, well, I'm the trainer. Just let me do my thing, right? Like, you came to me because you want exercise advice. Now don't tell me what you want me to do, because I'm going to make the program. And we struggle with those things. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, now, I can do this, I can do that. And I'm like, well, yeah, the reason why they're most likely told you have to do this exercise is because in reality, your glutes aren't firing properly when you're walking, sitting, squatting, rotating. And when your glutes aren't firing properly, that's going to put stress on the front of the leg. All these other different muscles are overactive, and that is causing a lot of tension in your knee. And then all of a sudden, you're doing something simple like walking or just turning a corner and snap, everything. That's exactly what they said, And I tried telling that when we first started working out, and it was, no, you don't know. No, it's an IT band. It's like, well, in reality, you cannot stretch the IT band. You can't foam roll the IT band. You can put some pain on there, but when you're feeling that pain, it's most likely not the IT band. It's most likely one of the four muscles in the hamstring, the muscle on the outside, or the muscle of the quad that you're on. You cannot stretch the hamstring. It's tendons and tough tissues, right? Ligaments, tendons. It's not a muscle, so you can't foam roll it, right? You've got to be able to loosen the muscles that are attached to it, so this muscle isn't pulling against this muscle and creating all this issue. But that's what I try to tell him. It's in reality, if you literally did a 5 to 10 minute exercise, take all these rehabilitation exercises that you can find about ankles, knees, shoulders, elbows, neck, and if you created yourself a little 5-minute routine every morning, you would most likely be injury-free your entire life. When it comes down to it, at least injury-free in the sense of, I'm not going to hurt myself getting up from the couch. I'm not going to hurt myself, doing simple things like that, where a lot of us tend to injure ourselves. Now, of course, getting it, running, jumping, playing in a sport, exercising is a completely different story. But that's becoming aware of what our body is doing. So, subconscious mind is the body. That's why we've got to learn to truly understand our body and what we are doing. It's not just positive thought. It's how do we move. If you compensate with a little bit of a limp, or your one leg is out a little more than the other, if one foot is straight and the other foot's off to the side and you walk, eventually you're probably going to hurt your left foot. It's out. You got to find out, why is it? Subconsciously, your body's just there for some odd reason, right? You've got to figure out why. So once again, something to think about. We've got to understand that these hormones, that's why I hate someone says love is just a hormone, right? Attraction is just the hormone, the juice is squirting out and flowing, whatever. Well, in reality, no, that's not what it is. That's the basics of it. And if that's all it is, then in reality, there's no such thing as free will. But now I'm getting into this whole other topic. Just once again, it's remember that everything is linked together, right? And in reality, you don't know what your hormones are doing, what they're shooting off inside of your body. And those are happening based on your surroundings and what you encounter and think every day. So once we can cohesively bring a stress-free body and that stress-free positive mindset together, in reality it seems like that's the only true way that we can have joy, happiness, and be fully conscious, right, of this new age where we're awaking. Well, it doesn't matter if we're awaking mentally, if we are confused body-wise, right? If our hormones and everything are out of whack, it doesn't matter how consciously awake we are, right? Because in reality, you're just gaining knowledge. And like they say, knowledge isn't power, knowledge applied is power. If we don't want knowledge, we truly want wisdom in life, right? Those are the people that are very wise, are the ones that might be more full body integrated. And that's what we need to understand. We need to be able to understand ourselves. I don't even know the word, psychologically and through our body. I don't know what the proper word is for that one. Physiologically, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. We've got to understand these things though, right? We've got to have cohesion between them. And I could go even into transgenderism and all that. I'm not going to get into it. It doesn't matter. But once again, I think we've got to understand, all I'll say on that is we got to understand that this life is a gift. And you wouldn't want someone regifting your present, right? I'll just end it with that. So once again, thank you for tuning in. I know I jumped all over the map. Hopefully you stood till the end. That's usually how I am. I just kind of get the topic and go with it. So thank you for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and share, like on your social media. And remember, if you want, the main guy I found who was talking about this was Dr. Joe Dispenza or something along those lines. So stay tuned for another video.